Hey there, comic book fans. I'm back from the comic shop again this week. Big week, too. 12 comic books, plus an extra comic book in the mail. But first, we'll start out with our top of the printer, Museum Comics for the week. We got a Man-Thing, number 9, a Mike Ploog cover. Look at that, a tree monster is attacking him. Swamp monster versus a tree monster. And here we have a Peter Bag-Hate, with Buddy being scared to go out into the suburbs. Which is funny because eventually he goes into the 16. Eventually he settles down in the suburbs. He comes from the suburbs too, but that's why he's scared of it, because his parents live there. Well, these are the two I looked at all week, had on top of my printer. Pick two more for next week. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, this was a freebie I picked up, just a promotional thing for the Mighty Best of the Mighty Marvel Backlist. So it's just a list of all the trade paperbacks and collected editions they have. I figured I'd look through it. Why not? Ooh, let me show you the what I got in the mail this week. It was a surprise. It's Elvis Chicken 2, King Spoet's book. He's a YouTuber who, there's the back too, who watches our Friday night show and comments, and he does these autobiographical comics. I can't show you them all. There's nudity in them. But he was in a punk band, the Spoets, in the 90s. And this is a continuing story of some of the punk band stuff, with Carla, the dildo queen, is in this one too. So, fun stuff. I enjoyed this thoroughly. Thanks to King Spoet for sending it to me. He also did a little portrait of me on the envelope with furry Spawn and dolphin Spawn. Spawns being a $3.99, $2.99 for Spawn being a unit of measure, is unit of currency, is one of the running jokes. Excuse me, on our Friday night show. Then we got What's the Furthest Place from Here, number 13. I'm still waiting for this one for the total of this one to be better than the sum of its parts. I enjoy this. I enjoy its parts. Nice artwork. A good book about these kids who've grown up in a world without grown-ups, so there's no adults here. We finally got a reveal last issue of who these mysterious stranger figures, well, at least what they look like. They have like multiple eyes or something. I don't know if they're adults or whatever, but I'm still not sure what the story is overall, even with 12 issues under my belt. But like I said, the parts are fun, even if I don't know what all the parts are going to add up to. And this is one of the parts have added up to a nice comic book. Time Before Time, issue number 23. Is that the robot? That's our robots are not supposed to be able to time travel, and for some reason this one was able to. But it's been a good story. Time travel, two guys, a guy and a girl trying to escape from some time mafia guys, and this and things going. It's hard. This has had so many different plots in it over the 22 issues, this being 23, that it's hard to describe it succinctly. But lots of time travel, cops and robbers, and people on the run, and science fiction stuff happens. What else do we have? Supermassive 2023. I think there was a Supermassive 2022. This is the crossover in the Massive verse, which has got, who do we have here? That's Rogue Sun and Radiant Black. I'm not sure who that other one is. I think because I think there's like 3 or 4 Massive verse comics now. No one is actually a Massive verse comic. So we'll see what happens in this one. I don't know. It's kind of like an annual where they all cross over, so we'll see what happens in that one. Then we've got Plan 59 from Outer Space number 3. I bought issues 1 and 2 last week. I know the writer on it. I used to play touch football with him, so someone pointed out that he had a comic out, so I figured I'd give it a try, and I liked it. It's sort of a continuation of Plan 9 from Outer Space, except they're up to Plan 59 of trying to destroy the Earth. And it was well done. It's fun, schlocky Plan 9 from Outer Space comics. It's good stuff. You know what's funny? The art has grown on me, too. When I first kind of read it, I was iffy about the art, and then I looked at it some more without reading it, and I liked the art more after looking at it a second time. So I must say that it grew on me. Good. Who's the artist? It's the art is Joaquin Gonzalez. Story by Michael Doce. Story and script by James Massia. Michael Doce is who I used to play touch football with many years ago. 20 years ago now, I think. Then we got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Usagi. Where When. This is issue 3 of 6. Oh, wrap around. It's Usagi. It's the Turtles. It's Stan Sakai. Ooh, look at that. I like almost everything Stan Sakai does, so of course I'm getting that book. Then what do we have here? This is Red Zone issue 3 of 4. I've really liked Mike Deodato's art on this. He's sort of getting very graphic designy with it. And it's the story of a guy who used to be a spy in Russia, having to go back to Moscow one last time and everything went wrong. And now he's trying to get out of Russia. Not the most original story in the world, but it's fun. It's fun. Or maybe I've just been reading a lot of spy stories lately. If not comics, then in books. And, let's see. Dawn Attacks. Frank Frazetta's Dawn Attacks. Issue 9. And I just noticed it said on here, number 4 of 5 in teeny tiny little letters that I can barely see down there. I had no idea if this was mini-series or ongoing, but it seemed like it could be a mini-series, but so did the other one. What is that? What's the other Frank Frazetta's book I get? Death Rider, Death something, I can't even remember now. That one's continuing, so what do we have? No, we don't quite have a wraparound here. Kind of reflects each other. But I've been enjoying this book. I'll enjoy it for one more issue. Why not? I guess it's a sci-fi story. Sci-fi Barbarian. Nice cover there. I wonder who did that cover. Whose cover is this? Who does it? I can't. In the back, they usually give us all the covers, which is cool. And it tells you who did them. So let's see. Patrick Riley, cover A. So that's a Patrick Riley cover. I like it. Good Space Guys. Then we've got The Ambassadors, issue 5. Hulk Hogan? This has been an every 2 weeks book, I think. Who's doing this issue? Mark Miller's the writer. Matteo Buffagni is the artist. I've never heard of him. But it's different artist each issue. It's been kind of fun. The writing is just okay, but the art has been nice. Some woman discovers how to give people superpowers, so she's running a worldwide contest to give them superpowers. Oh no, the plane is crashing. Nothing special, but I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed the art. A solid B. And speaking of a solid B, here's Mark Miller's other book, but this one's only $2. Nightclub, issue 5 of 6, I believe this is. So both of these have one issue left on them. But Nightclub is about these kids who want to be YouTube stars, but some police officer makes them into vampires instead to join his vampire crew. And then they just decided to film stunts. And then they decided to fight crime. And now there's a whole bunch of criminals who are after him. And maybe the cop was crooked too. We'll have to see. But that's been a fun one. And here we have a facsimile of Avengers #1. This actually came out last week, but I must not have noticed it on final order cutoff. And I saw it at the shop and wasn't sure if I had it or not, because they've been starting to reprint some of these facsimile editions. Like, I forget which one I bought. Two, like one that came out, it was X-Men #1. Just came out this year of a facsimile edition. But it turns out I bought a facsimile edition of X-Men #1 back in like 2018 or 2019. So I came home and checked last week to see if I had a facsimile of Avengers #1, and I did not. So now I do. And I also got a facsimile of Invincible Iron Man #1. Now, I know this is the first printing of this. I'd never seen. Look at that nice purple. That is a nice purple. Is the purple as nice on the original? I do not remember, but I like the colors on this cover right here. Both of these, facsimiles of first issues, so I figured I'd get them. Let's see, the last thing I got for this week is the Forged issue #3. Once again, I don't know if this is a mini. Does it say anywhere? I have no idea. If it's a mini series, if it's a maxi series, if it's a continuing. It does not say anywhere, but it's by, let's see, story by Greg Rucka and Eric Troutman. Art by Eric Troutman and Mike Henderson. I don't know. There's a bunch of ands in there. You tell me who's writing it and drawing it. I don't know. But it's been a fun sci-fi story. I like the big magazine size. About this group of the Forged. They all have these robots. They all have these mech suits, and they're like the military arm of this empire. And they had to go to this planet, which they just found out was hostile when they got there. Everything's trying to kill them on it now. So their job is to survive it and figure out how to get out of there. So first, big to about 40 pages. Feels like about 40 pages, I'd say. Maybe 48, but $6 magazine size. So I've been enjoying that one. Let me show you a little bit of what I did this week. What did I get done? Another Dreams of Things cover. We're up to 188, or I don't know, 12 weeks away maybe from 200. I still haven't figured out what I want to do for it, but there we go with a fella whose head turned into a balloon and is floating off his body into the rainbow world. I guess. What's going on with these crazy covers? I'm not sure. But I like the way his face came out with the orange and purple stripes and stuff. And I don't know. I like those pink clouds, too, with the rainbows coming out of them. It makes me happy, pink clouds and rainbows. There you go. Another Dreams of Things. I'm going to have to pencil some more next. I think I'm almost out of penciled versions of Dreams of Things. So got to work on some drawings of that, and I'll have some more for you. So you guys have a good week out there.